Just before we get into this, this was the video that I had to put on the back burner for a week because it was going to be about the Great Koala National Park as well. And then we saw some movement on it, thanks to New South Wales Labor. So isn't that awesome news? So here's what's happened to Mark, which is not awesome news, but let me just sandwich that with some more awesome news. I'm coming to Melbourne and Perth with my show Brews, which is also strangely tied into all of this stuff as well. So I'm going to stop advertising over this. This is an important video, sorry. It's pretty shameful. Hey, remember ecologist and friend of the channel Mark Graham? Here's a reminder of him just in case you don't.
Film it!
Hey, bro. Hey, there's no need for violence, guys.
I'll get your f***ing cunt in a minute!
Hey.
That's right, he was the guy that got flogged by Forestry New South Wales employees for the horrendous crime of reporting them committing crimes. Anyway, let's see what he's up to these days.
Hey mate, Mark, is it? Just doing a bail check, man, making sure you're spending each night.
I'm not required by bail to remain here every night, officer.
Oh, okay.
What are you doing at my home at night?
Yeah, I just told you, mate, just doing a bail check.
There's no bail. There is no condition of bail requiring me to be at my home every night. I don't know what pages you're reading from, where you're coming from. Please leave my home now.
Got your attention? If you're new to the saga, we're going to do the speed run, so if you want the blow-by-blow of Mark's ordeal, head over to the links below for some hard-hitting content! Sorry, I had to do it. Anyway, Mark's a legend, basically a non-dead Steve Irwin, who first came to us in 2022 to showcase the highly illegal practices being undertaken by Forestry New South Wales, which I think would have to be my most hated company on earth after Mammy Monster Noodles. Look at him. What on earth is he doing to that small Malaysian boy? Mark came to us with evidence of Forestry New South Wales clearing ecologically crucial and endangered native trees, illegally felling oversized trees that are essential for koala habitat, bulldozing through vulnerable lowland rainforests that wasn't even intended for logging. How lazy is that? Building a crusty demons ramp through endangered tree colonies just to get to other endangered tree colonies that you're not allowed to log anyway. The list of their crimes goes on and on and on and on paper that was regrettably provided to us by Forestry New South Wales activities. Anyway, during the time that he was showing us around, Mark had also been fighting a charge. That's right, you heard right. Mark had been fighting a charge. Forestry New South Wales did all of this, and yet they got him for being within 100 metres of logging machinery, which he wasn't. But to top it all off, they claimed he was within 100 metres away from logging machinery when this was happening to him.
Film it!
Bro. Hey, there's no need for violence, guys.
I'll get your f***ing cunt in a minute!
They filmed that, thinking, yeah, this is going to play well for us. And here's the insane thing, it did. The cop that laid the charge, Coffs Harbour's finest, the now ex-sergeant Wade Goddard, saw that footage, and determined that Tweedledum and Tweedledee from Greenshill Bros, they're a group that does logging on behalf of forestry, were acting in self-defence. Who other than Israel would agree that that is self-defense? I'm telling you, hick towns are exactly like the movies, aren't they? You just got some local sheriff chewing grass. You're a long way from home, boy. Anyway, now you're up to date. Here's a timeline of what's been happening. 3rd of March 2022, the bullshit charges start getting laid on Mark thick and fast. I think mostly as a way to delegitimise him. It's pretty much just what happened to us. Mark is served an interim apprehended violence order. It's like a restraining order, except based off of nothing, served to Mark by Wade Goddard at the very appropriate business hour of 11:08 PM. Jesus, is Domino's even open then? How's that for a special delivery? Don't go near your neighbour. He can't not be near his neighbour. Who's Mark's neighbour? John Willoughby. Oh, sorry, the question should have been, who's John Willoughby? John Willoughby is the lead ecologist for Forestry New South Wales. I think we all know what that means. Yeah, it's fine. John Willoughby was integral in approving the 2014 Coastal Integrated Forestry Operations Approval, or IFOA for short snappiness, that Mark colourfully refers to as the Extinction Manifesto. So John's not a man without distinction. It's basically an attempt to marry Forestry Corp's rampant clearing of rainforests with the idea that, no, they can stay committed to their contracts without doing that. Anyway, yeah, it's fine. Trash me. I'm an ecologist. But anyway, let's focus on this. The AVO was from a man belonging to this gang, delivered to Mark by this cop that saw this gang wail on Mark and thought, well, Mark's face is being very aggressive to that man's fists. It's 1 for 1, isn't it? You best be leaving town if you know what's good for you. Look at the allegations made that warranted this AVO. Number 1, mowing his lawn in an aggressive and forceful manner. Damn, the Zoomer finally gets his revenge on the 30-year-old boomer. I mean, we've covered other insane accusations laid against Mark in the past, but mowing the lawn in an aggressive and forceful manner has to take the cake. What a precedent too, because if that passes, you may as well lock up every dad on the Central Coast right now, especially when on top of that, Mark has a proven track record of being very anti-aggressive lawn mowing. Number 2, flying drones as an intimidatory practice. I would love to hear John's account of that. 5th of May 2022, Mark has his criminal charge of being within 100 metres of logging machinery dropped because, you know, do we have to show the footage again? Mark might as well have been charged with regicide. I'm pretty sure he was closer to the king than any logging machinery. 8th of September 2022, Mark is arrested in a peaceful protest in Ellis State Forest by Sergeant McDonnell, along with Senior Constable Muscat and Senior Constable Zugayev. Too hard, Smith. Really should be better at pronouncing Yugoslav names seeing as I'm Croatian. But anyway, some of the other protesters witnessing the arrest were able to record it, including getting footage of Constable Zugayev pinching Mark's phone from his pocket.
It's my phone. My phone.
Don't resist. Don't resist. Marcus, don't resist. Just don't resist.
Can you guys take my phone? Please take my phone. I don't. Please take my phone, Colin. Can you take my phone?
Get away.
Thank you.
Move away.
If anyone
I
has
have
your
his
phone,
phone.
Move away.
stop resisting.
I'm not resisting. I'm not resisting.
The officers informed Mark and his friends, while being filmed, might I add, that he's been taken to Bellingen Station before being transferred to Coff Station. And how good's this? The bozos at those two stations apparently couldn't figure out how to operate the fingerprinting machine on the computer, so they had to transfer him to Grafton. After being held for a few hours, he was charged finally with, you'll never guess, intimidating Karen Morrow, the one filming this. Who'd have guessed? Another forestry employee. More small town power structure shit. Let's just get this straight. The guy getting into the police van, calmly saying, I'm not resisting, he intimidated the person filming him getting roughed up. I mean, thank God for the uncanny Venn diagram crossover of technology and idiots. Could you imagine if this happened in the day where you had to pay $5.99 for a ringtone? Another great sin? They also charged him with trespassing into state forests 6 times on numerous dates. Ooh, he went to the park. Maybe. It's not exactly a Grand Theft Auto level rap sheet, is it? And yet, this is his life. Fuck! Mark was then kept in jail for 22 hours, from 2 p.m. on the 8th of September until midday on the 9th of September. He was eventually released on bail, but with some very vindictive and absurd bail conditions. We've mentioned these in a previous video, but what's this?
Hello.
Mr. Graham, my name's Senior Constable Allison. How are you this evening? Got an application for an AVO to serve on you.
Nuts, isn't it? That was on the 21st of September 2022. Senior Constable Allison serves another AVO to Mark, this time on behalf of Forestry Corp employee Karen. You don't need to be filming this, Morrow. Got the chance to call him corrupt this time, though.
Corrupt.
Little Yilmaz throwback for long-time viewers. This AVO from Karen was allegedly put forward through a private lawyer by Tom Halliday, Forestry Corp's harvesting manager, and Karen's October 2022. Mark's lawyer manages to get one of his bail conditions lifted. Unfortunately, it wasn't the one preventing him from entering state forest, which is like saying to a Brazilian man, you're forbidden from entering any vaginas. It's not just cruel, it's stripping away his reason to live. March 2023, Mark is still not allowed to enter state forests other than a single road he has to travel to get to his home, severely impeding his ability to work. Naturally, on these grounds, he's tried yet again to have these conditions reviewed by running a bail variation hearing. Forestry Corp's Manager of Sustainability, Dean Kearney, wrote a letter of submission to the police, which was used against Mark in court and succeeded, because God only knows if it was lifted, he'll empty his lawn clippings on John's yard. Maybe. 22nd of March 2023. Speaking of menacing stalking behaviour, one of his bail conditions was, you have a curfew, no leaving the house at night. Well, guess who turns up at 10 PM to make sure Mark was all tucked in?
Just doing a bail check, man, making sure you're sending each ID.
What are your names, officers?
My name's Senior Constable from the Riot Squad.
That's 3 members of New South Wales's Public Order and Riot Squad entering Mark's property once again in the middle of the night. Why were they there? To perform a bail check and ensure Mark was at home 5 months after the bail condition was lifted. 5 months. Fucked, isn't it? 14th of June 2023. The 2 men working for Forestry Corp who assaulted Mark, Michael Vitale and Rodney Hartfield, are charged and face court. They both plead not guilty because, you know, if you wail on someone in the woods and no one's around to film it... Oh, wait, they were.
Hey.
As of right now, they're still working for Greens Hill, contracted under forestry. 13th of July 2023. Finally, we get some actual good news from this colluded mess. On the 13th of July, all of Mark's charges are officially dropped. But this is the legacy of the last government. This is what the Liberals and Nationals do when they're in government. They twist every element of public service into being a personal henchman squad for them. Not only illegally attacking you, but then going on to justify those illegal attacks in the legal system. And remember, always remember, the reason he was getting swatted, beaten, denied an income, dragged through expensive court case after expensive court case, is because he wanted to report crimes. Anyway, make sure you support him by going on one of his guided tours if you're ever in the Bellingen area. Bellingen Nature Tours, that's his company. And come support me on one of my tours, because I'm also a victim. It's all about my court case proceedings. But whatever town's on screen currently right now, come see me there. And you can also sign up to Patreon so we can continue delivering more important stories like this to get public attention. So I'll see you next time. And remember, watch out for the Mammy Monster.